And do me a favor, Tiffany. I am going to reclaim host because that way I can, let's see.
Can you do
reclaim
that or do
host.
I need to do it?
I just did that. You've got to
Oh,
report
but I don't
live.
have co-host anymore.
You do. Hold on. Now you're co-host.
Boom. That's Abrams. That's co-host
Okay,
now.
well,
Maybe Abrams is
too.
co-host.
You know, Abrams, you got control, dude. That is a risky thing. All right. Good morning. Happy Friday. Listen to me. Happy Tuesday. It feels like Friday. Every day is a Friday. And shout out Robert. Really cute. Thank you so much for bringing him on and putting your face on there. That makes all the difference in the world. Love seeing children. Today is the most important day, in my opinion, for what's going to happen in 2023. And I'm really glad you're here. Today, we're going to dive into some things that need to happen. We're going to have some conversations. We're going to kind of divulge what your 2023 looks like. We're going to be talking about, and don't hang up and don't leave because I know who you are. I've got a screenshot of everybody. I will find you. I will track you down and I will pull you back into this call. We're going to talk about simple goal setting. We're going to talk about what 2023 looks like, and I want to hopefully give you some tips that'll help you move from, gosh, I hope that happens, to holy cow, it is coming to fruition. So stick with me because I'm really, really committed to this. Now, I'm going to give you a backstory about myself and what I attribute success in real estate to. The very first year I was in real estate, I worked for a gentleman. His name was Mike Krantz. He's a real estate coach now. He's phenomenal. And he made me write down what my goal would be. And he made me get it really big and hairy and ostentatious. And it was awesome. My goal was I wanted to be the top agent in the entire board in 5 years. And then we broke that down into the yearlies. And we're not going to go that deep into it, but I want you to realize that the potential for it is great. Now, I wrote this down and I put it in an envelope and I put a date on it. It was 2008. That I opened it, 2007, excuse me, when I opened it up. And I found it in a house. I'm like, holy cow, I got to take a look at this. And I had hit 4 of the 5 goals. So if you think it, if you say I'm going to write, if you write it down, you have a higher probability of reaching that success. And here's the thing, every one of us deserves this. So I put down some notes, and a lot of this came from a book. I'm going to drop it in there. It was by Brian Tracy, and it is Maximum Achievement. I strongly encourage you listen to it over the course of, I don't know, the next 2 weeks, because these next 2 weeks are really kind of free time. Think about if you guys, everybody here, if you carved out an hour a day and said, I want to work on me personally for an hour a day. Now, some of you, I know Chris is out walking. Hi, Chris. Good to see you. I know she's out walking every single day. Today, it must be too chilly because she's inside behind the Christmas tree. I get that. Friday is going to be brutal here, minus like 29 degrees. That's below freezing. Oh, my God. But let's see. Lori picked up for you, Chris, because she's walking right now. God bless you, Lori. You're awesome. Stick with it, girl. Good for you. Come to the event. We're going walking every day on the beach on 9th, 10th, and 11th. We'll be walking every morning on the beach down there, getting ourselves ready. Imagine if you spend an hour a day focusing on you, on what's important to you, on your business, reading something that's going to help you move forward. I encourage you, this book by Brian Tracy, I'll drop the link in there in just a couple minutes, is extraordinary. A lot of what we're talking about today came directly from there. So since I'm quoting him so effortlessly, I want to make sure I give him credit. In fact, here's the link, maybe. Yep. This is a Audible link because for some of you that know me, you probably realize I'm not smart enough to read. I don't have higher education. That's the Audible link. That's Brian Tracy's Maximum Achievement. It is excellent. Let's jump into it for goal setting. Question I wrote down right up here. What do you want in 2023? Now, in my opinion, there are 5 big categories. And what I want to challenge everybody on the call today to do is to write down, and I'll review these 5 categories again. They're pretty straightforward. It's health, faith, family, career, financial. Now, you may not have one of those categories in there, but the chances are health and career and financial are absolutely going to be in there. And I want you to write down one goal for each one of those. And here's the thing. I want you to write it down, but not yet. Let's talk about what we're going to be doing. But imagine if you wrote down that one goal and you put it in front of your face every day. You reviewed it on a daily basis. Now, kind of a sidebar, one of the things that Brian Tracy was talking about, and it's actually written down in my to-do list, I'm going to do it today, is to create a positive affirmation, goal-oriented MP4, MP3, whatever it is, music sound with the things I want in my world and the goals I have set. And I'm going to listen to that on my walks every single morning, and I'll listen to it before I go to bed. And there's specific ways in which to do it. But do you see what I want to do is I want to put this in front of me as much as I possibly can. Some of you have asked, I've got these rings on my my necklace that I wear, and I wear them all the time. It's love, abundance, and gratitude. And for me, I have 3 affirmations I say every time I touch this. I'm down 2. I got 2 more I got to do today. Every time I touch this or I think of this, I say those affirmations. I give and receive love freely. I have abundance in all areas of my life. I am grateful for all I have and am receiving. It's in a current state of mind. Now, this allows me to think in a way of love, of gratitude and abundance, because I'm constantly saying it. But imagine, and I'm going to use weight loss for an example here. Imagine we said, well, I want to lose, of course, 30 pounds for my weight loss. Okay, that's your goal. If you put in front of you every single day that this month my mission is 5 pounds, that comes out to about 30. It's a little bit more than that, but it'll give you a buffer. If you looked at that 3 or 4 times a day, or at minimum 2 times a day, who here, show of hands, the people that I can actually see, and if you don't have your faces on, please put your faces on. I miss you guys. It's Christmas time. It's the holiday time. Oh my God, it is. As right now, as we're in, it is day 2 of Hanukkah. So for everybody of the Jewish faith, God bless you. May the candles stay lit for 8 days and more miracles. May you get your Hanukkah miracle to you for sure. But imagine if we looked at this every single day and we made this a focus. Thank you for those who put the camera on. What do you think that would do to your eating pattern? What would that do to your exercising pattern? As opposed to the elevator, would you take the stairs? As opposed to having that 3rd drink, would you say, you know what, 2 is going to be my limit, or even better, I'm not going to have anything today? By the way, I'm not throwing judgment. I'm a big fan of a glass of wine or scotch. So y'all do what's good for you, but maybe that would help motivate you to get there. I'm not going to, or I am, affirmed, I am going to walk an extra mile today after I have dinner to help digest and eat. What would that do to your ability to keep your goal top of mind? Because that's really what we're talking about. So I'm going to use weight as an example throughout the process. So we've written these goals down. We have a higher probability of eating the right food. We have a higher probability of achieving that goal. And here's the thing. Our big ostentatious goal for me is losing 30 pounds. That's literally the number. It was 40 pounds last year, but there was a lot of things that came into play. Like I didn't write it down as much as I should have, and I didn't have it in front of me. But I've got a 5-pound block that I'm doing. I've taken my goal for the year and I shrunk it down. Now, remember, y'all remember me saying that I wrote down before that I wanted to be the top agent in the board. That was my goal when I was a real estate agent, brand new, kind of starting out. That was my achievable goal. I want to be top agent in the board. So, well, okay. Over 5 years, I achieved it. But I tell you what, over the first year, that means I had to go from 0 sales to be the top agent. I had to go up to 40 sales. I did not achieve it. I only sold 26 homes. But I kept that top of mind. And in 2007, I was the top agent in the board in Central Florida, period. In 2009, I was the top agent in the world for Keller Williams. You probably aren't going to get exactly to that goal. You make it higher, awesome. You make it a little lower, awesome too. But you're further along than you are now. And your goals give you it's kind of a benchmark. You have to have them. Y'all focus on this. This is important. Pay attention to me. Put your cameras on if you can. I want to see you. This is an engaged conversation. You can achieve so much. And it's going to start with you picking five things. I covered them: health, faith, family, career, financial. Pick your 5. If you only have 4, that's cool. Pick 4 and write down a goal that's a 1-year goal, 2023. Now, here's the real cool part. You write that goal down, and I want you to look at that. A 3x5 index card, perfect. You want to make one of those little things where, the kids open them up and it's like that star that opens up. Terrific. Have in there, just play with that for a minute, and it talks about your 5 goals, and you can lift it up and look at them. I don't care what you do, but they have to be in front of you. You have to see them. You have to think about them. And when you think about your goals, I don't want you thinking about, oh my God, the struggle. I can't do it. I can't do it. I can't do it. You can't let that happen. You have to think about what it's going to feel like inside. What does it feel like when you achieve your goal? Again, we're going to go back to weight because it's so easy for all of us. And I'm sorry, I say health, but for me, it's weight is a big part of that. I know I've already visualized what it feels like to be 197.5 pounds. That's literally my exact goal. And I'll reach it this year. I'm sure of it. I know how I feel. I know how I move. I know the aches aren't here. I already visualize what that experience is. I visualized what the experience was to be the top agent in the board. Now, the truth is I kind of forgot it. And then I put it in an envelope, and it's my 5-year plan. There was more things in there. I wanted 4 houses. I had 3. Okay. So, I mean, I'm cool. I failed just a little bit. The weird part was it actually came true, and I'd completely forgotten about it. But my subconscious mind, what drives your power, has not. And this is what I want you to get more than anything. This is the gift I want to give you at the holiday season, is that your subconscious mind can help you get to exactly where you want to go, but you're going to have to start to help train it. You have to see it on a regular basis. You have to feel it. Imagine that goal, that one thing you want to get accomplished right now. Seriously, everybody here, unless you're driving, screw it. If you're driving, close your eyes too. Everybody close your eyes and just visualize it. What's that big thing that you want to do in 2023? Where do you want to take 2023, and what do you want from it? Now, imagine that you've got that. Imagine how you feel. It's now December 20th, 2023, and you've accomplished this goal. You've gotten so close or exceeded it, and you are there right now. How do you feel? That's what you have to think about when you're planning your goals and when you're revisiting them on a daily basis. All right, open your eyes, especially if you're driving. I want you to think and feel what it's like for this goal, because we're going to cover the 7 reasons goals don't get set or don't get accomplished. And we may find that we're in there. If we are, that's okay. We need to know what our obstacles are to get them out of the way, because the truth is nobody here on this call is incapable of reaching any goal they set. I have to point this out though, because it's true. For me to say in my first year selling no homes that I want to be the top of the board is completely unreasonable. And here's the only reason why. I don't believe it. If you set a goal and we'll use weight loss, and I'm going to lose in 2 months 50 pounds. I don't believe it. I don't believe it, but I can set a goal that in 2 months, I'm going to lose 20 pounds. That's 10 pounds a month. That's not too bad. That's 3.5 pounds a week. Excuse me, 2.5 pounds a week. My math isn't very good. That's absolutely doable. Is it sustainable? Probably not. But can you do it? Absolutely, you can. Your goal has to be something that you actually believe in, that you know. I use Jay DeFalco as a great example. Jay DeFalco went on a water fast, and I wouldn't advise you to do this. He's not new to this, and he studies it very much. Went on a water fast for like 35 days, lost 45 pounds. Okay. You can put your mind to anything, and it's going to happen. But you have to believe in it, and usually that means you have to be able to feel what that's like and experience it before it happens. Please don't set a goal if you're setting a weight loss goal to lose 50 pounds in 2 months. It's probably unrealistic, but 50 pounds in the course of a year is 100% doable. If you're selling currently 5 homes and you want to sell 60 homes, that's a 3 or 5 year goal probably, but taking 5 homes to 20 homes, doable, 100%. Taking 20 to 40, doable. Getting more affirmed with your family and faith, doable. It takes some action, but you have to plan it. And more importantly, it's got to be in front of you every day. Goal, goal, goal. Are yours written down? Do you have a clear goal? And if you don't, that's okay. We've got 2 weeks. Stephanie, hi. I love your hair. Red's good. Christmas colors. Sorry, had to throw that out. Haven't seen Steph in a while. We have to write these down. This is what I'm challenging everybody with more than anything. I want you to write down what your goals are in 4 or 5 areas that are important to you. Start with 1 and visit it every day for a couple times a day. True realization of a goal does not come until the effort has been paid in full. I'm going to say that again. The true realization of a goal does not come until the effort has been paid in full. So you better know what kind of effort needs to be put in there. What is the cost of your goal? I'll use, again, weight loss for an example. There are really 3 options for weight loss to occur. You can have some form of surgery. What is the true cost of that surgery? Emotional, time off, effort, energy, changing diets. There's a cost process for that. Second process for weight loss, again, something we all identify with is exercise. I've got to increase my exercise. And what does that look like? I've got time, I've got energy, I've got soreness, I've got to get up every morning, I've got to get it on my schedule. And the third is dieting. Those are really the three areas. You must exercise and experience the full cost of what you want before you'll receive it. This isn't like going to a restaurant where you say, I'm going to order something, I'll pay it later. You pay it first, and upon full payment, you receive it. Now think about this. Would it be helpful to know exactly what's needed, again, with weight loss, to achieve the goal I want, to know my cost prior? You can apply this to work as well. If you want to sell 50 homes, I can tell you clearly what your cost is. We're going to cover why perhaps you haven't set the goals or you haven't committed to it in a little bit. And I want you to take that, and not as a bad thing, that why didn't you? I want you to take that as the Einstein. This is one of 5,000 reasons why it don't work with a light bulb. Now there's an Einstein story in there. Einstein was story of him in the light bulb. His assistant said, well, you failed 5,000 times. He goes, no, I haven't. I have successfully proven 5,000 times that 5,000 things don't work to a light bulb actually working. His mindset was never I failed, is I learned that that's not the right way to do it, which gives me a probability of getting closer. I use Babe Ruth as an example. Babe Ruth had the #1, still holds the record, I believe, all-time home runs in a single season. That same season, he struck out more than any human being ever did. Let that sink in. You're going to experience some cost. In this case, it was failure for the outcome that is what you want. And embrace that, because that's empowering. If you looked at, I didn't get the listing appointment. Excellent. I know exactly what not to do. By the way, I would come to January 9th through the 11th. You'll know exactly what to do. Speaking of which, while we're here, I need some help. So I am going to see if I can do this. That's not it. I'm going to launch a poll for y'all. Fill it out as best you can. Your input is valuable to me. I can't tell you how valuable. Fill it out as you have an opportunity. I'm going to leave that up and it'll just run through there. You can click it and slide it over if you need to get out of the way, if you don't want to get to it right now. I'm going to let it run for a while. I need your input. This is very, very helpful into what 2023 looks like when you get a chance. So I'm going to let everybody kind of digest that for a minute. I want to stop here before I jump into well, I'm going to finish up. This is important, but I got to move this first. I wrote this down and I want to make sure I share it as well. Nobody wants surprises. So please, this is, again, the cost of your goals. Identify what they are. In a faith goal, I have a faith goal. My faith goal requires me to go to church 1 day a week before my day gets started, to do something more than just on Sunday, more than just showing up and come from contribution. That's for me. That's my faith goal. Is it fully written out? No, it's not. But I understand that there's a scheduling challenge I've got to adapt in there. I understand that I'm going to have to block out some time and I'm going to have to make sacrifices. Now, I also have a physical fitness goal, which happens to go in the morning. So I'm going to have to switch some things around. I want to know the full cost of my 5 goals, so that I can see the full ramification on my input. And I will achieve every one of those goals after I pay the price, after I pay the cost of what that goal will think. And if you don't know the cost, there's a good chance you're selling yourself short, and it's important. I want you truly. Vision board. Jennifer, I'm sorry, I had to stop because I saw it was such a great idea. 100%. A vision board is tremendous. You get to see it on a regular basis. Yay. Brilliant. Lizette does a vision board class. I think she's doing a virtual one, but either way, you can learn about a vision board. I have one. I look at it every single day. It's got everything on there that I want, including a couple of catamarans and some other things that are fun and personal for me. However, do not let the vision board get in the way, or clear a way that you don't need to look at them, read them, think about them, and feel them every day. Remember, 4, maybe 5 things, 5 areas in your life. What's a goal? 1. Because here's the thing. Once you exercise some success, Once you start to realize some success after you paid the full price, you will receive the success. After you realize that success, you're going to say, oh my gosh, I can do more. And you can. Every human being, every person, every one of you has goals. Goals give us purpose. Otherwise, I mean, realistically, we could just, come home at the end of the day, grab a couple bonbons, sit down in front of the TV, not do anything. We could wake up in the morning and say, well, okay, at least I got that part covered. I'm not going to do anything today. Well, it's okay every now and again, but if you led your entire life like that without any purpose or any real direction, how would that impact your family? How would that impact your relationships? I challenge all of us that we have goals, whether written or clear, in every aspect of our lives. And once you exercise your muscles and once you become successful, which you will, you'll realize that there's so many things that are left untapped that you haven't hit yet, that you haven't worked on, that you haven't accomplished. And there's so much potential inside of you. I don't want you to run a 4-minute mile. I want you to walk a mile. And then I want you to walk it quicker. And after you do that, realize that that 1 mile you walked really truthfully means, I'm living proof of this, that you can walk 5 miles. My mission was I wanted to be able to walk upstairs comfortably. In November, I walked off, and that was, I solved that. I knew the cost going into it. There was a recovery and everything else. And that's because I had knee surgery because both my knees were shot. Thank you, rock climbing and motocross, and I don't know, bow-legged and riding horses and everything else I did to screw them up. But I could barely get upstairs. You probably saw that. Some of you saw that at the summits. I couldn't walk up the damn stairs. So I realized the cost. I paid the expense. I did the cost. And in November, I walked 184 miles. Turns out in December, thank you very much, Atlanta Airport and Delta, I ran 1.5 miles for the first time on my knees. And turns out I got more work to do. Maybe that's my 2023 goal, because running's not as good as it used to be, that's for sure, but I can walk as far as anybody else. And I'll go head to head with you, Chris. We've done it before. We went 10 miles, you and I, and your Bo too. We could do it too. Guys, what's the cost? What's the goal? I got off on the sidetrack. Thank you for all those who took time to fill this out. I appreciate it. The more that can do it, the better I like it. Let's get into the 7 reasons people don't set goals. You may find that you're in here, and it's okay. This is realizing, I don't know, step or experiment 5,000 for Einstein. This does not cause a light bulb to work. So I know that I'm not going to use that anymore. I'll look for something different. If you find you're in any of these, let's see if we can address it. Number 1, not serious. More of a talker, not a doer. No fire in your belly. The only way you can tell if a person truly believes is by their actions. Now think about this. Do you really want, is your goal? A goal is a want, a desire, an objective. Do you really want something? Are you willing to put it down? Now, we'll cover this in a couple minutes. Don't tell everybody. You don't have to. I don't care who you tell. Don't tell anybody. Tell yourself. But will your actions be congruent with that? Or are you currently, meaning up until right now, more of a talker than an actual doer? I find myself in there frequently. Okay, that's good. Now I know, and I know I've got to have my actions speak louder than my words. Remember, if somebody's not going to support your goals, don't tell them what your goals are. They don't need to know. It's not their business. If you don't have somebody who's your cheerleader on your side, do not share with them. This is what I'm going to do. And they're like, oh, you'll never do that. You don't need to hear that. Yes, you will. All right. Number 2. Many people have not accepted responsibilities for their lives. They don't have any goals, or they're not setting goals because it's not really their fault. You know those people. I actually have a sibling that's one of these people. It's the world is happening to them. It's their fault. Or it's not their fault. Everything's happening to them. Oh my God, the woe is me. The world is crashing. The sky is falling. My daughter says regularly, well, what if this doesn't happen? I said, what if a plane falls on your head? What are the probabilities of that? But this person, the one I'm speaking of, my sibling, seems to focus on the fact that it's not their fault, that they don't take any responsibility for what happens. You are exactly where you are right now because of what you did. Period. You are exactly where you will be a year from now because of what you do. And everything you did has nothing to do with what you'll do. So Your effective range of excuses for what has caused you to be here ended this second. Wait, this second, no, this second, this second. It's over. Now you're moving forward, and what's happening a year from now, where you are a year from now, is what happens to you because of what you do, your actions. You have to take responsibility for your life. The sad person is a person who continually waits for the world to begin, who uses up all their energy making excuses on why not me, and then goes and buys a lottery ticket and watches TV. Okay, to be fair, I've got a couple lottery tickets when it's up to $1 billion. Who the hell wouldn't? I mean, I invest $20 and call it a day. And by the way, remember, we share it if we win, right? That's just how this works. Okay, especially if we're pooling together. I will give you my bank account when we're ready. But we can't just sit by and watch it go by. And I'm not asking you to change the world. I'm asking you to change 5 things, to 4 or 5 things, and commit to them. Isn't it funny? We keep seeing 5 pop up: time, on, task, over, time. Does that sound familiar with what we're talking about right now? That this is what you're doing, is every day you're revisiting. And you hear me repeating the same thing because I'm trying to help program your mind. I want you to revisit on a daily basis 2, 3, 4, 20 times. What is your goals? I used to walk around with a card in my wallet, and I stopped. And I'm going to put it back in my wallet again, because I do at the beginning of every year. I got rid of it when my wallet got soaking wet. That talks about my goals. So every time I pull out a credit card, I read my goals. Easy way to do that: you take a business card, and if you chop off just this little piece, just at the end, right there, just that tiny little piece, just like that. This actually fits in your wallet perfectly, just like a credit card. It's just a little long, so shave it off with the thing and write down on the back of your business card, and then maybe put Scotch tape around it so it doesn't get wet, because that sucks when your wallet gets wet. And once you look at that every day with your 5 goals, and when you do, think about them and feel them. You can get there. Oh my gosh, you can get there. What is the cost? Fully understand that. And if you're willing to pay it, that goal is going to be achieved. People have done miraculous things. You can do the same thing. And a miracle isn't huge. A miracle is just something that moves you. People have a deep-seated feeling. And this is are you one of these people? Is this perhaps inhibiting you from really setting a goal, committing to a goal, understanding the true cost of a goal, and achieving the goal? Some people have a deep-seated feeling of guilt or worthlessness. I'm here to tell you what you may have been told previously. It's bullshit. You are as great as you want to be. You're as great as you feel you can be. You can accomplish anything. There is nothing you cannot do. And all you need to do is understand that anybody that's told you anything different about you is wrong. They don't know you. And by the way, who the hell are they to pass judgment? I find myself as a parent sometimes saying, you can't do that. Who am I to say that to my child? Or that's not what you should do. Or I just think about this. What has programmed you? Something else that stops people is they don't realize the importance of setting goals. I'm hoping that we're going to kind of communicate that we're getting to the point where you realize that 2023, we've got really a week or 2 to get this knocked out. Your goal and the cost of that goal, what's it going to take for you to reach it? If you fully understand that and you still want that goal, now you're prepared. You know what you got to do. You want to run a marathon. Don't run 15 miles the first day. You start with 1, and then 2, and then 3. And it's not immediately, it's 1 week of 1, and then it's 2, and then 1, 1, 1, and then 2 miles 2 times the second week. And you continue to move up, and you slow down your progression because your body is being stressed. There's a cost to that. And you can't get hurt because that puts you back. It's on purpose, purposeful, continual action towards that worthy goal. People don't know how to set goals. I'm going to say this again. I dropped it in there. I'm going to redrop it because it's so good. You should, if you listen to me on anything, please listen to this. I want you to take this book. It's an Audible book. I want you to buy it. I think it'll cost you $14. It's worth every penny. Brian Tracy's Maximum Achievement. Brian Tracy, Maximum Achievement. Listen to it. It's not long. It really isn't. Play it on 1.5 speed, so it goes pretty quick. Listen to it once or twice. Start figuring out your 5 areas or even your 4 areas and say, what is important to me? And then realize the true expense of realizing those goals and understand what it's going to cost you. Using faith as an example. If I want to go to church during the day, one day during the week, in the middle of the week, to really kind of recenter me, I have to adjust a lot of things. I know the cost of this. And is it worth it to me? And if it is, terrific. If it is, I'm going to make that happen. If it's not worth it to me, okay, that's cool too. Then perhaps that's not a goal I'm going to emphasize on. And maybe that's one of the, I'm going to take that one out of my 5. I hope I don't, because I'm still going through it. You have to do this exercise too. This is your year. And it started a while ago, but it doesn't mean right now we can't really program our minds and our souls and our subconscious for what's important. All right, a couple more. This is the big one. I touched on this a little while ago. A lot of people in setting goals have a fear of rejection or fear of criticism. Here's the thing. If you're setting a goal, and it's a personal goal, and anything, it could be business or otherwise. If it's business, I want to challenge you that the people around you, your family, your significant others, your peers, should be your cheerleaders. They should support you in that goal. Any kind of criticism is not accepted. It will happen. And if it does, remove that person from the day-to-day conversations on that specific goal. If it's your children are doing it, or if it's your parent that's doing it, or if it's a spouse or somebody, don't engage them in conversations on that goal. Keep that private. Surround it with people like us, all of us, who are going to support you. Now, I'm using business as an example because a lot of times, like, oh, you'll never do that, or you didn't do that. It doesn't really matter. I don't want you to be surrounded by criticism, so don't share your goals. If they're yours, they're yours. You know the cost, you know what you got to do. But if your schedule impacts somebody else, like mine will impact our new puppy and everything else, if I'm going to go to church, again, I'll go back to that one. It's going to disrupt the regular routine in the house. So I'm going to have to make sure that everybody understands why it's being disrupted on a specific day, because they all totally support our faith in our family, our family's faith. And that's the kind of people you want around you. If you got somebody who's a negative Nilly, like my sibling, I would never tell her my business goals, ever, not ever. In the world, I would not tell her. If I have a specific goal where I do very, very clear, very many specific goals regarding the GPS Global Partners to make it the most engaging group there is in the world for real estate professionals who want to grow their business. That's the long of it. There's a lot of small goals in there. Tiffany, you're going to be busy. There's a busy year. I love you. I would never share with her one of these goals because she's negative. I'm going to get from her some form of criticism. Now, for anybody that's a parent out there, think about this. You can't do that. That's not something you can do. You shouldn't try that. You'll never fail. You'll never succeed. Remember, what we tell our children, we're literally programming them. Some of you may have been programmed by a parent saying, you're not capable of that. Remember, everything that brought you right up to today is what happened in the past, and the past stops now. Now. You get it? There's no past. We're now future. You can totally change. Change happens in an instant. You don't believe me? Is there anybody here who's strong enough that wants to admit to being a recovering alcoholic? And this is really important. If somebody is, remember, you're in a very, very safe environment. We all support the fact that that's the case. I've got quite a few friends who are in this scenario. If there is somebody and you're comfortable, please just raise your hand. I'd love to call on you. And I'm going to ask one question of that. And they can usually tell us. And if there's not, that's okay. But here's the question. Somebody who has a challenge or a problem or an issue that's come up in their life, it's not a slow process. The process of coming to the idea that change is going to occur can be, but change is instant. I don't know any successful recovering alcoholic, drug addict, abused spouse that says, well, I'm going to start to change a little bit. And, I'll change over the course of a couple months. Everything here, every one of you, if you're going to make a change, it's instant. Today, now, this minute, this is changing. Now, whether you stick with that change is completely up to you. But the success, and again, I go to a recovering alcoholic or recovering drug addict or a recovering abused significant other. Once they make that change, the whole world opens up. It's no longer a dismal approach. Is there a cost to the change? Absolutely. Using an abused spouse, you're going to lose, the house you're living in, which isn't safe, but feels safe. There's just so many things that have to occur for this battered participant but it's the right cost for the great outcome. The same with any kind of change, with your business change, going to a positive. Sorry, I don't know why I was digging on the negative so much, but imagine a business change where you're like, I'm not really doing what I want to do, but now I am going to do it. And here's the thing. Almost none of us are perfect, except for that recovering alcoholic or drug addict who has been 25 years sober. That's impressive. That's commitment. Now, that's life or death. What you guys are thinking about, I'm hoping, are not life or death. I truly pray and hope and pray to God that they are not, because I don't want anybody in that circumstance. And it's okay if you're not 100% perfect, but you need to be well past the 50% mark. It's so important. And there is a cost. And we talked about this. You've got to know the cost. Am I sounding like a broken record? You have to write it down. You have to visit it on a daily basis. The last one, and this is it, is fear of failure. Everybody at some point is going to be afraid of failure. I want to challenge you guys to say that failure is not a bad thing. And as I just said a minute ago, you're not going to be perfect. So you're going to have micro challenges, micro failures inside of your change, because the change is going to happen. You're going to write these down. I hope, I pray you do. You're going to write these down and all of a sudden say, this one's important. This is it. That's one of 4, one of 5. When you get all of them down, or all 4, or all 5 down, you're like, all right, these are, I know my costs. I know what I'm going to do with them. Now is when it happens. You got to keep filling yourself with the positives. You got to keep filling yourself with what that feels like. After you paid the cost, what does it feel like? Okay. What does it feel like when your financial position, let's use real estate sales because we all have that in common. My real estate sales, I'm selling 10 homes and I need to get to 20 homes this year in a down market. And I looked at the costs and I've got 3 hours where I am literally prospecting for 3 hours. I've got my database. I'm doing an open house, 30 weekends, full weekends a year. And I am doing a geographical farm where, since I can't afford it, I'm going to do a lot of the walking around and dropping things off at the door. This isn't a class in how to farm because that's going to give you a lot of pushback for sure. But if that's what my cost is, and then down the road, I'm up to 20 sales per year. Am I willing to pay that cost on a weekly basis, on a daily basis, on a morning basis? Because my income goes from about 120,000 up to 250,000 in a down market. Will I pay that cost? Yes, I will. But more importantly, wow, God, that feels so good. The stress is off of me. I'm experiencing what that feels like. I have the freedom at this point. I'm going to hire somebody to help me in this. I no longer have to walk. I can mail these out. My farm's starting to kick. My database is phenomenal. It's been more time, but I really like, see, you got to feel what this is like, because that means the cost is doable. Brian Tracy, Maximum Achievement. It's worth reading over the next week before Christmas or during the holidays. Ken, happy Hanukkah to you, sir. I know of you and your faith, and I know how strong and committed you are. I wanted to wish that to you personally. I'm glad I saw you on the call. I appreciate that you're sharing it with us as well. God bless you and yours. And may your Hanukkah miracle occur and the candles stay lit for 8 days.
Thanks very much, George.
You got it, my brother. God bless you.
Thank you.
Folks, you can do whatever you dream. You got to believe it. Got to write it down. Got to know the cost. Does it work? If it does, if all those are yeses and affirmed, you can accomplish anything. I wish to you in this holiday season that everything you want comes to you. It's going to take work. All right. I'm going to take any comments. Anybody have anything to say? And I'm going to read some of these comments so that I can address them as well. Thank you guys so much for your time. That was the tough call for the day. Hope it wasn't too bad. Keith, you got something, bud?
George, quick comment.
We lost you, brother. Try again. It's really dicey.
Listen, I've been here for exactly 1 year. I was with a broker before that treated me great, and I just want to thank you for your commitment to all George, for all you guys do in the administration. You know, that it'd be easy for you to mail it in sometimes, and you guys just never do. You just keep coming back and helping us. So thank you.
Absolutely. It's been a distinct honor. By the way, here's the hat for the day. Can you all see that? This is I love this hat. I got this. So I change it out every day. It's going to be, there's something different on my hats. So if you see a good sticker, it's Velcro, which means that's the same sound as when I open my wallet, by the way. It sounds, I got a Velcro wallet. But if you happen to see one of these and it's on Amazon or something, send it over to me. I'll buy it and I'll wear that on the hat. This is mine for the day. The other one says, I love my hot wife. Yeah, I like that one too. Let's see. Finding your purpose is hard. Heather, thank you. You're absolutely right. Your vision board. God, the vision board is so important for everybody. Guys, this is a shameless plug. Wow. Claire, thank you. Yes. And I don't know if Claire's on the call. She typed that, but I wanted to ask her a question.
Go ahead. You can ask.
Claire, when you decided that alcohol no longer served you, was it a long, drawn out process, or was that change instant?
So that's a great question. And I needed to stop drinking. However, the mindset didn't change until I was willing to stop drinking. So that was the instant that I think that you're alluding to.
Mhm.
And there are many people out there that need to get sober. The people who get sober and stay sober are they're willing to change their life. They're willing to change their play places. And just like what you've been talking about in those instances and those 5 things, are we willing to change our playmates, get with people that are of like-mindedness, that have the same mindset, and encourage each other, not discourage each other. Stay around those positive people. George, I can't thank you enough for what you do for us each and every day, but it's huge. It's huge.
So on this, because I think thank you, Claire, first. Thank you very much for that. I appreciate it. And it literally is my pleasure and my honor to do that, my distinct honor to do this. There is a cost associated for anybody who is going through a change and staying on a topic that is unfortunately nationwide, very available or very knowledgeable to people. Sometimes somebody who decides that drinking doesn't serve them anymore realizes, comes to the expense that one of those costs is their friends, and quite honestly, sometimes their identity
And their family.
and their family. Thank you. Even bigger one. I didn't get to that part yet. Thank you. Has to change. Now think about this. Imagine all of us have an identity. Maybe your identity isn't ultimately serving your real goal, and you may have to change that. And as Claire mentioned, or your family, you can't change them, but you can't maybe share what your goals are with some people that are going to negatively impact you. And it doesn't mean that we're surrounded by people that are bad for us. It simply means they're probably not aligned with what is best for us. And only we know that. Is that a fair way of saying that, Claire?
Absolutely. And when we have placed ourselves in a position not to be harmed any longer by ourselves or the negative Nillies around us, we're in a better position to serve God and serve others, which in turn allows us to exceed our goals, which is the whole point of being in existence on this earth. You've touched it. This has been dig deep, put those things down, and you're absolutely right. My playmates and my play friends are the people who I choose to have in my inner circle that I can add to their lives with a positive impact, not a negative impact. And it's a choice. We can choose to listen. We can choose to write down our goals. We can choose to write that thing down. However, the actions has to do with the people that are around us in a safe environment to allow that brain to work in a more positive manner. And if I don't have people surrounding me that have a positive mindset, I'm going to drift into complacency. And that's not an option in my life.
Claire, thank you for being transparent and vulnerable. I have a feeling that is probably a big part of your commitment to authenticity. And I love it. And I call on you all the time because well, you rock and you're pretty cool. So thank you very much for being so candid and sharing with us. I appreciate it.
My pleasure, George. Thank you for getting us all together.
That was the fun part. All right. For all of you that want to know, I've got some of the poll results. Thank you guys for everybody that took time to fill it out. I am going to run this poll again. Tiffany, as you being the host, if you run the poll, when you stop it, there's a little 3 dots next to share results, but those 3 dots give you the download, and then it shows up in an Excel spreadsheet, just so you know going forward, because we're going to do this again, and that you can go into my account and make a poll. And it's a fill in the blank poll. Tiffany, did you fill yours out? No, you did not. Not one answer from that girl. Golly.
It won't let me because I'm a co-host.
Oh, that's right. You don't count. That's right. You don't count.
It thinks I'm going to be
here's some of the
biased.
things that were brought up. And Claire, I'm digging deep into this one with the healthcare because they're switching over with mine from, I'm on an older one. There's a newer one coming in. I'd love to talk to you one-on-one about that and give you my feedback and what we're doing. Or what's going on with it. And I should have more information today and tomorrow. So maybe we could touch base on a quick phone call to fill that in.
Absolutely, George, because this is a huge poll that we need, because the majority of the training committee, when we're wanting to provide value to all of our GPS group, we have healthcare. We have a lot of stuff on the calendar already. I see Trish shaking her head. So this allows us to make sure that, our GPS family is speaking and we're delivering, items of maximum value, not just willy-nilly.
All right, I'm actually going to share this with you, Claire, and have, if you don't mind, and let you upload it. And Trisha, I think Trisha's on here as well. Let me send it over to you, Claire, because I've got your information real quick. And
Just make sure send it to Tiffany, because I'm on my phone. I'm not on my computer.
Got it. Okay, I will.
Thank you.
I'll shoot it over to
I'll
Tiffany.
get with
We'll
Tiffany.
upload it for you. Got it.
Thanks.
Simon, Iman, what's up, brother?
Hey, good morning, George. Question, I did the poll yesterday. I need to
Good.
do it again today.
Yeah, if you can. We don't have the download for yesterday, unfortunately, and that was just an error. So we're going to run this probably tomorrow as well. And if you filled it out once, great. Now we know how to do it because we were experimenting with it yesterday. I mean, I really would like your input. So if you're on tomorrow, and we'll also be running it the beginning of the year too. Just we want to gather as much data as we possibly can because it's you. And speaking of that, my brother, let's talk about some of the things that were brought up. And if this is still your passion, folks, keep on it. All right. If this is what you want, do it. Let's see. Healthcare, lender, vendor relationships, and sponsorship. Love that one. Best tools and for sources for prospecting for leads. Of course, production and team building, KV Core, script roleplay, team attraction, lead gen, how to contact expireds. Building a class on that one. Jeanette, I'm doing an entire class on prospecting. Pardon me. How to use our brokerage to its fullest. Good question, Jason. That one's awesome. Hybrid team. How to leverage our business partners to increase our referrals. We kind of touched on that one with our partners up on top. That's great. Educating ourselves through true data, KCM, scripting and what information for our clients, getting leads outside of our centers of influence, best techniques for that. That's a great one. Group blog sharing for mass emails. God, there's some really, y'all are brilliant, by the way. If you don't figure this out, I just want you to know y'all are freaking awesome. We couldn't have written this as well as you guys put this. Educating ourselves. We covered that one. Getting our leads outside. I covered that one. Rev share, lead gen, new agents, KV Core, scripts, and how to handle listing appointments. Let's see who wrote that. Marlene, there is in, and I'm going to drop the links in right now. If you go to, let's see if this populates, right? There's a live listing class. I'm sorry.
I don't see the poll available.
It's I stopped the poll. It'd have to be the next time you're on. We'll have it running again. Okay, that first link I just put in, Marlene, that is for my personal YouTube channel, and there is a live listing presentation in there. I would strongly encourage you to watch it. It is me doing a live listing presentation, and it has tons of paraphernalia, everything that we're doing, what to say, how to say, what to do. It's a pretty darn powerful class. The second one I'm dropping in right now is, and please subscribe to both of these. If y'all have a chance, just click on those and then hit the subscribe and the notification buttons on both of these. One is all of our ongoing classes. That way that library is at your fingertips. It's in your YouTube subscriptions. And that's the second one in there. The one that is at George Philbeck is my personal YouTube channel. And I will be doing 7 to 10 to 15 minute training videos 3 or 4 per week that are specifically topical, and you're going to want to be part of that. Share them with any of your friends, and please do hit subscribe and notifications on that one. Love to have you guys getting those updated as I put them out. They are like, I just completed one that is the first part of Database 101, how to do it at the highest level. And there's 4 parts to that. And that's constant. YouTube, just search for George Philbeck. You can't miss it. Subscribe. It would be a big help to me, but more importantly, I'm hoping these tips will help you as well. So these are some of the trainings that everybody put down that we just covered. And y'all are awesome. I got some great suggestions on who everybody follows. That's very personable for me. And a lot of yeses on those testimonials. I'm going to save this and hold on to it. For everybody that just said yes, they'd be glad to. I will gladly set this up over the next 2 weeks, some short testimonials, and we'll just do it on YouTube. If you don't mind, I'll record it and we'll kind of go from there. Thank you for all that said yes, they'd be able to help. I can't tell you how valuable that is and how important it is. And we're redoing the GPS Global Partners website, just as a thumbs up for everybody. And the whole purpose behind redoing it is to make the website where it is, first off, much more user-friendly, second off, much more explanatory to what we do as a whole, and also incredibly more useful to all of you for resources, tools, things at your fingertips quickly and efficiently. The first evolution of the GPS Global Partners website was me. And as it turns out, I suck at web design. Okay, there we go. I admit it. I own it. It's horrible. It serves its purpose, but it's not what you all deserve. So I'm going to invest a lot of money into making it better. So it's a tool for us as well, from where our trainings are to where access to some of the coaching that we're doing. Basically, I want it to be a mechanism for all of you, and I want it to be useful for everybody as well. So that's coming too. Again, thank you so much, everybody that participated in the poll. And more importantly, thank you, everybody that is on the call. You guys rock. I appreciate your efforts. Have an amazing day. And hold on, got to finish with it. Go out there and tell somebody you love them. Tell them they're important, that they matter. Let them know that they have great value. You may change a life. You may actually save a life. But more importantly, or equally as importantly, it's going to make you feel better. The worst thing that'll happen by you doing that is that you're going to walk away going, God, that was a lot of fun. I hope I made their world a little better today, that they have a positive spin on life. Now think about this. If somebody called you and they said, I just want you to know, that's all I'm calling for. Jason, I just want you to know, man, you're awesome. I respect you. I admire you. And that's it. This is an unsolicited call to tell you that you freaking rock, dude. And I hope you have an amazing day. That's a great call. That's exactly how easy it is. These are somebody that you already know and like. Let them know that they matter, especially this time of year. By the way, that's the secret to database. That's the secret to lead generation. That's the secret to everything. Actually care, and you'll be amazed what happens. I love you guys. Have an awesome day. I'm not hanging up, Simon. I got a couple messages from you, so I want to make sure I answer those before I do. But I just wanted to say goodbye. I'm going to turn it over to the powers that be, which is Miss